Sometimes we try to overcomplicate things in our quest to be rigorous. We sometimes make things so difficult that our students can't even freaking understand what the heck that we're trying to tell them or share with them or model for them or mentor. So I want to show you that there's multiple ways that we can do things called differentiating our instruction. I call it, if I'm not GT, I'm going to do it ED. GT, a gifted talker, tester, typer, and I'm going to ED, explain differently, differentiating my instruction to help all my kids, not just the ones who can do some advanced rigorous. So I'm going to say to you guys that sometimes um, all we need to teach a concept is a stick, man. I'm going to use two different stick men that I made for those of you who have joined the extended constructed response, short constructed response trainings. Today we're going to be doing elementary week two questions about why are dogs so loyal. So one stick man has a compare and contrast to different stick men to compare to places, to things, to people, to animals, to concepts, and another stick man to look at positive versus negative attributes of, or about something, emotions or opinions or points of view. So let's get on with it. So you can use these. I will be attaching this to all of you who registered. Uh, uh, there's an extra page that I added for this question, for question number 3. You're going to be using the elementary, and I suggest even if you're secondary, that you do some of these questions because it's important that your kids understand that the answer has to be based on evidence. Okay. The response has to be based on evidence. So I've got my topic, then I'm going to go look for evidence, and then I'm going to look for my response, my answer, and we can either restate, rephrase, or reflect as long as we're responding. That's why it's called that. So we're going to be doing numbers 2 and 3 in this video, and I'm not going to write in the boxes, but I am going to show you what could be written in the boxes using what I shared, my little stick men. All right, so here's question 2. All right, using the article, why are dogs so loyal? So it doesn't give you a passage. Uh, well, yes, it asked you to use the passage, Why Are Dogs So Loyal? The secondary one has two passages um, that I challenged you all with, that we'll get into tomorrow. Okay, so look at that section, and so read the question carefully, then enter your answer in the box provided. Okay, and you're going to always notice that it asks you to read the selection, but a lot of times kids only read the question, and the question does not have the answer or the evidence. The passage does. So that's why it has to be text-based evidence, and the answer has to be based on that text base. All right. So according to the section, so we're looking for a GPS, get pretty specific, a certain section, looking to dog psychology for answers, dogs or pack animals. How does the author compare dogs being in packs to their being part of a family in order to express loyalty? So three things here. Um, the dogs in packs, the dogs as part of a family and how both of them are an expression of loyalty. How does that merge together? Okay, so we'll do that one first. And here I have our page one that you'll see um, in your comparing and contrasting characters. This is going to be for an SCR question. And it basically said, according to that one section, how does the author compare dogs being in packs to their being part of a family in order to express loyalty? So the first stickman is about dogs in packs. It's again a Hu-Venn diagram. And the second one is dogs as part of a family. And since they're the same, I put it on the green portion. If they asked how they were different, then we would place it on the outside, the red. Green, same, similar. Red, contrast, different. So I noticed that the evidence in the that section, okay, says loyalty in a pack is crucial. Okay, that means important. Why? Because trusting, cooperating, and putting the pack's interest first are all part of surviving. Okay, so in other words, these dogs have to put the interest of the pack before their own in order to have them all survive. It has to be based on trust. So how does that compare in the evidence to being part of a family? Your family is their pack, and they have adopted you as their own. Okay, this is in paragraph 4 in that section that they mentioned in the question called looking to dog psychology for answers, dogs or pack animals. Okay, so that's my evidence, and I would probably need, because it asks about two different aspects of dogs, then you in this case would need two different pieces of evidence. Now, it came up in a question today from one of you in our group. Do you have to give the location, the GPS location, in order to get credit? And the answer is no. You only have to paraphrase or cite slash quote the evidence, the rubric, the Bible that we're going to use from TEA says absolutely nothing about a specific location that has to be mentioned. Somebody said that they were told, I grade hard. It doesn't matter. You can grade as hard as you want, but you have to grade accurately and justify your score based on the rubric, not some arbitrary, non-factual misinformation. They had they had told this teacher that if you don't tell the location of the evidence, it's called uh, plagiarism. And there's nothing in the rubric. If you go to my wall today and see that post from the anonymous poster, you're going to see my response and my explanation, and I even used the TEA scoring rubrics. So yes, these are in paragraph 4, and they are in that section, but you can say the text states or that section states. You can say the evidence is. It doesn't matter as long as you have evidence. Okay. So based on that, I have to come up with an answer from my little head that would make sense here. How does it compare? Well, since dogs consider their owners part of their pack, because right there, you can draw a conclusion, they will do whatever it takes to protect them from danger. So that is this part here. And so I'm basically saying these two combinations of text in my own words. If you're going to put the interest of the pack first, that means you're going to Protect them, not yourself. Okay. And doing what it takes, that's all part of surviving, that you're going to keep your owner alive, even more important than yourself. So that's that one. Let's take a look at number three. Okay. Use the article, Why Are Dogs So Loyal, to answer the question. Read the question carefully, then enter your answer in the document provided. According to paragraph 5, that's the location. Okay. And you always are going to have a who, what, when, where, why, which, or how. And you can see on question 2, it was a how. The author compares family to packs. And in question 3, we also have a how. Paragraph 5, the location. So if you say paragraph 5, we already know it's in paragraph 5. So as long as you're quoting something from paragraph 5, you don't have to tell me paragraph 5. You can, but you're not going to lose points, is the idea they want to get across here. How does the author explain that dogs are actually able to express love for their owners? So I got my topic, dogs expressing love to my owners. Okay. I'm going to go straight to the evidence, then give an answer with restating, rephrasing, or reflecting. Okay. So here's the other stick man that I made just for y'all today for this question. Enter the subject. The question is asking you about inside the circle of the stick man's head below. It could be a person, a place, a thing, an idea, animal. Look for evidence that describes the keywords in the question and to fix that for you guys. Sorry about that. And write it on the positive or negative lines. I haven't sent this to you guys yet, so when you see it in your PDF file, those of you who signed up, you'll see that correctly. And a lot of you don't like me to make a list without putting an and or an or. So I'll do that too. All right. So look for evidence that describes the keyword. So dogs, how are dogs able to express love for their owners in paragraph 5? So here's some evidence that I found. Quote, not only did dogs react more strongly to the scent of their owners, comma, the part of the brain associated with the enjoyment and positive emotions lit up when they were given their owner's scent, exclamation, closing quotation. Okay. So I saw that positive emotions, that's a very important key, and enjoyment. So what does that mean when you express enjoyment and positive emotions? Well, how do I say that in my own words? This is what I wrote. Dogs are able to express love for their owners. That's called restating. You need to, by getting happy just from their smell. Okay. Happy, enjoyment. Excited, positive, enjoyment, emotions. Thrilled, positive, enjoyment, emotions. Ecstatic. You can use any one of these synonyms in place of happy. If the higher the student, the higher the vocabulary that you would want them to use in their answer, their response. Okay. So as you can see here, the evidence from my life, no, this would be in the dog's life. So you would use this evidence here. And since it's positive emotions, we would write it on this side. If we were talking about negative emotions of a dog or a negative attribute, something about the dog that's negative, we would put it on this side, and then we would have an answer that reflects negativity as well, if that makes sense. So that's how I would do questions 2 and 3. And again, this is a Hu-Venn diagram, but on this one, because we're only focusing on one side of the coin, a positive expression called love, I wouldn't need both sides of what you might call a Venn diagram. So I hope you like that. Um, part two is going to go on from now all the way until April, except for Christmas, spring break, Easter. I'm going to take a break like you guys are and hope that you actually do take a break and not work and grade papers all holiday. So let's talk about this that um, some of you have asked me, I want to be able to get the the passages, the practice tests that are going to be, I'm going to try and do them every week to every 10 days at the most, if just depending on the pacing and how things are going. I mentioned in my last video that I really want to prioritize my health and family. So I'm taking it at a pace that I feel like is reasonable for me. Um, do me a favor and message me if you feel like you got the concept, if you have your own strategies or skills, because when I send you the practice tests, I'm not going to be sending you any of these tools or techniques with them. Um, right now, I have part one and part two on sale for $50 as a set, and you would get all the videos from part one on how to turn uh, essays that are in La La Land and Zero Land to One Land or Two Land. And then part two of this ECR SCR editing, revising. I'm doing a lot of that extra stuff now for free because I'm including that as part of our practice test for part two. Um, that that'll be every week to 10 days and for both elementary and secondary. Uh, and I'll try to, as the weeks go progress, try to show you how to build the quality of the essay, uh, the quantity of the writing. But for tomorrow's videos on the essay for elementary and Saturday's video for secondary, our goal is going to be may the threes be with you. Okay. But I will put a link for those of you who are interested. Just message me if you would like a link for the part one and part two. I'll also have a link where you can, if you just want to buy the test, because some of you are asking for that, you just want to buy the practice test, you'll get one every week to 10 days, but then you kind of have to figure out your own strategies to apply to them. And I'll also put a link in that website page for the hard copies, class sets of the advanced folders, the graphical organizers, and the dual language folders. Uh, and that'll be basically $30 for three class sets. Um, and you can use the ones that you want and uh, give away the ones that you feel like would not benefit you. Um, watch me as I use the graphic organizers of different types. Um, you'll receive PDF copies of most things like those stickmen that we just used today. Let me know if you have any questions. Do me a favor, like this uh, in my YouTube page, on my Facebook, on um, wherever you happen to see it. Uh, I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have so that we can inch our way towards nobody getting zeros and more kids getting total scores from both readers of sixes through tens. So if right now we're playing May the Threes Be With You, it means that if I get a three of some combination in organization development and convention from one rate grader and the same thing from the other grader, that would be threes plural, a total of six already, which is kind of a basic uh, goal for right now until Christmas and probably most of January. We're going to try to get to sixes and then sevens in February, eights and nines in March, and then to tens in April in what little bit of time we have. God bless you guys. Take care.